doing? My name is Joseph Ngugi. I'm one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind. And if you are new to this page and new to this platform, Casey and myself, the co-founders, are here to help you as pre-physical therapy students get into PT school without wasting time or money. And tonight we have we have a good conversation to have with you guys. And it's a topic that is on how to max out as a pre-PT, as Casey hops on. Last night we had our training. Christopher, how you doing? Savannah, good to see you. Last night we had our week 1 training for the acceptance system, season 4.
Ooh, look at
Family.
my
What's
hair.
up, Shanahan? How you
Jesus.
doing, Megan? Yo, what's up with the hair, bro?
I apologize. I'm getting a haircut Saturday, but
Oh,
it'll
bro.
be what it is.
Yo, it's the reason why I wear hats, man. Just to kind of cover up whatever's up here. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no. Last night we had our very first training of season 4 for the acceptance system, and it was an absolute blast. There's 62 pre-PT winners in there who are absolutely crushing it. But as we were talking with them, there's a few things that we were talking about last night that, like, as I was thinking about it later, I was like, man, like more pre-PTs need to hear that, because I honestly believe that the pre-PT journey is very similar to how athletes are. We all know athletes who are on 3 different spectrums, right? You always know athletes that are average and, well, actually 4: average and don't work hard. Those are the ones that don't last too long. You know the ones that are average and work hard. You know the ones that are like amazing, skilled, talented, but don't work hard. And then we
True.
all know the ones that are skilled, talented, and work tirelessly, and those are the ones that become legends. And so,
Kobe.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. But anyway, so we want to talk about you today as a pre-PT. How do you become a legend? Like, essentially, how do you max out? Because each of you have very different potentials. Some of you will be public speakers, some of you will be business owners, some of you will be clinicians, some of you have great potential to be instructors. Some of y'all got great potential to be in PT school and you don't even realize it. You don't realize it because you're spending so
Mm,
much time listening to other individuals that are trying to impose their their will or their negativity or their doubt on you. And if you don't know how to max out, then for some, that could mean the difference between getting accepted and not getting accepted. That could mean the difference between you going into this application cycle this year and knowing exactly what you're doing and not. So tonight, we're going to share with you 3 key steps. And then what I want you to do is I'm going to tell you exactly what we tell our students. Now, for them, we have a very in-depth training. It was like an hour and a half. My goodness. But for you
that was a
guys,
long.
take some notes. Take some notes. If you guys are able to take notes on your phone, if you guys are able to take notes on a piece of paper, take some notes. Take some notes. And really, comment below. If you guys are ready to, we'll share it with you. But if you guys are ready to go into this year maxing out at your potential, feeling as though you are like at the top of where you have the potential to be, I want you guys to write down maximize me. Just comment below, maximize me. Maximize me, because that's you telling yourself. You're not telling me, you're not telling Casey. That's you telling yourself that you are ready to be at the top of your personal game. And this is where you don't need to compare yourself with other people. You don't need to compare with their potentials. Just because their potential is a little different does not mean it's your callings are different as well. Your experiences are different. Casey's experience with how, like, he got rejected, and my story being a little different as well. Like, we have, like, the way we're able to serve people also varies. That's why we make good business partners, because we're able to take care of different spectrums. But for you, your story defines you. It's part of your experience. It's honestly your leverage point. But if you don't know how to maximize it, if you don't know how to maximize your current experience, if you don't know how to maximize yourself as an individual every single day, well, what's the point? If I don't know how to maximize myself, then I can't be a good coach. So what's up, Brittany? We have Judy, we
We
have
got a lot of our
Connor,
students
we
on
have
here.
Dustin, we have
Representing.
Edward, we have Meg, Andrew, we have Taylor, Sharon, Warren,
What's
Shanahan, Megan,
up?
Savannah. Oh, well, look at that. Powerhouse squad. Powerhouse squad. Let's see.
Gail,
I
what's
like
up?
eating the mushroom in Super Mario and maximizing yourself.
That's a good
I
one.
love it. Maximize me. I just got done watching the replay of the bulletproof training, and now I'm here, bulletproof training being the first training. Clarissa, how are you doing? Maximize me. Let's go. Let's go. Because the honest truth is, right now, what I'm realizing is as a physical therapist, as a coach, as a soon-to-be husband in 4 months, let's get it. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Y'all, listen. Y'all gonna hear so much about my upcoming wedding that it's gonna make you sick. It's gonna make you sick. Then after the wedding, y'all gonna be seeing pictures all over. I'm like every single week, y'all. This is on my wedding 2 months ago. My wedding 3 months ago. My wedding, like y'all. The rest of the year is all about me getting married just because I'm so excited about it. But for me, I have to. I don't really have a choice anymore. I can't be average for the different, like I can't be an average fiance. So I can't just say, and I was talking to someone about this today, I can't be average as a fiance anymore. I can't just say, well, let me just spend 1 day a week with my soon-to-be wife and just hope that that's exactly what's going to happen, or that's exactly what's going to keep us together. No, it doesn't work that way. As a physical therapist, I can't be average. As a clinic director, having a staff and having other people that are like, yo, we're trying to kill it. I can't be average. I can't just show up and say, yeah, bro, just move your leg and just lift it up and do a few squats. You're fine. Let me just
That's what a
massage you a
lot of
little
them
bit.
see, though.
Yeah, man, it's garbage. It's garbage. I can't be average as a coach. I can't be average as a coach. I can't be on the phone with my students and everything and just say, well, just try a few things and see what happens. Like, I can't do that. And so because I can't do that, then I have to figure out, well, how can I be at my best for all of them? I don't have to just pick one and then be average at the rest. How can I be at my best for all of them? And as a pre-PT right now, some of you guys are serving different positions. You guys are spouses. You guys are parents. Some of you are full-time students. Some of you are working a full-time job. Some of you are techs. Some of you are instructors. I've spoken to some of y'all. Some of y'all have so many different tasks and responsibilities. How can you be great at those, but also max out with your potential as a soon-to-be physical therapy school applicant or PT student? How can you max out at it? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Casey, is there anything you want us to address before we dive into the three?
No, man, let's dive in.
Let's freaking get it. So we talked about this last night with the season 4 squad, but the first thing you have to do, and I know we talked about it with the season 14, but the first thing that you need to do is, as a pre-PT, honestly, as a human being, you waste more time than you realize. As a human being, you waste more time than you realize. You might say to me, nah, Joseph, I'm pretty good with my time. I'm pretty efficient. Well, step one is you have to be efficient with your time, but I didn't realize how much time I was wasting. So for a long time, from the time I was in college, I've had several outlets that are my go-tos. One of my outlets has always been like television shows. Now I love my television show. Well, so I watch This Is Us, so I get like real emotional with my fiance watching that. But but I also watch like a lot of like government shows. You got like Scandal. You got How to Get Away with Murder. You have House of Cards before that fiasco went crazy. But those are the type of shows I like. I like Gotham because I'm a big Batman guy. I mean, so
Handmaid's Tale,
yeah,
Westworld, you got to
bro,
check
we
those
can
out.
go down the list all day. And so I had certain things. So that's how I thought I was being efficient when I was even in college. So what I would do is I would study and then I'd watch like 2 episodes, and they're all like 50 minutes each. So that's like 2 hours gone. But what I also started realizing is when I did have my free time, I always felt so exhausted. I always felt so exhausted. Or I would find myself so busy throughout the day doing all these different things, being like, oh my goodness, like I have this, I have that, I have this. I've been working my butt off all day, Casey. I've been studying my tail off all day. I worked my work shift. I did this. It's 10 o'clock p.m. and I still feel like I have 10 things left to do. And that's me every single day. That was how I felt. And it threw me off. It threw me off until someone called me out on it. The same way we have to be like, we have to hold each other accountable, myself and Casey. We have to, hold our students accountable. Someone else called me out on it. And they asked me, Joseph, how are you spending your time? And I thought I was being pretty good with it, but I realized I was wasting a lot of time. I started being a lot more efficient with how I sectioned out my day. So some people will compartmentalize their day into different parts and just be efficient with it. For me, it was setting up time limits. If when I was studying, how How was I being efficient with it? Was I spending 2 hours looking at a book, convincing myself that I was killing it, convincing myself that that was 2 hours of study, convincing myself that I was like on my grind when on the back end I would barely catch a lick of it? Or would it be when I would say, okay, I'm taking the next 25 minutes of my time, locking it up, making sure I set a timer for myself, not distracted, like my friends are nowhere to be found, nobody anywhere, period. Spend 25 minutes locking in on my studies. Step out of it, take a 10-minute break, stretch, and then go back in, do the same thing over and over and over. The 10-minute breaks were when I would, check my Facebook, when I would check my text, when I would, instead of spending 2 hours where I'm looking at my phone every 30 seconds when my friends were hitting me up, like, how was I spending my time? How was I being efficient with my time? When I was spending time with she was my girlfriend at the time, when I was spending time with her, like, how was I being efficient with my time? Was I having my mind in different places? Was I thinking about the exam? How was I maxing out on my time? How are you being efficient with your time right now? What are you using to make sure that you're efficient with your time? Are you letting your day just happen to you? Or are you just waking up in the day and just saying, oh, yo, let's see what happens today. I got a few exams to study for. I have 8 hours of work today to take care of. I have observation hours to go to. Let me just try to get as much of it done as possible today. And as long as I'm not wasting too much time, I'll be fine. Honestly, you could probably get it done in far less time if you were a lot more efficient with your time, period. How present are you with every activity that you're doing? Casey, what is one thing, like, what do you do in regards to your efficiency with your time? What do you do to make sure that you're efficient with it? Because we waste so much of it. And if we don't know how to be efficient with it, then there's no way in heck we have a chance of maxing out.
Yeah, I mean, let me first off just start by saying that I am not perfect in no way, shape, or form. I sleep in on the weekends. I don't get up as early as I need to. I check my phone when I'm not supposed to. But even with all that, when I have to get it done, I do get it done. And I think two things here is that you can try this at surface level. This is a tactic. Give yourself less time. Give yourself less time to do everything. Because I don't know what the quote was, but it was like, if we give ourselves 4 hours to do something, it'll take 4 hours. If we give ourselves 20
Mm,
minutes to do something, it'll take 20 minutes. So give yourself less time, whether it's an artificial timer, whether you set your clock that you have to go to the gym at, whatever o'clock, give yourself less time, because if you have less time, you have no other option but to get it done. So that's
mm,
that's a tactic. That's a surface level thing you can try tonight,
yeah.
tomorrow. But deeper than that, I think it's bigger. I think it's you don't want it bad enough, and maybe your why's not strong enough. Because if you do, I mean, what's gonna freaking stop you? Like nothing should be there. If you're like gung ho about it, if you're like applying angry, if this is nothing else that matters, if you have to get into PT school this cycle, then all of that just kind of melts away. That's just how I feel about it. It's just, if you have something big enough, if your why strong enough, if you fear not getting in enough, all of this other stuff is just going to be, you're going to be focused. You're going to be locked in because you have no choice. Because you
Yeah,
have to do this. Like this test, this
exactly.
question 34 on the physics test tomorrow is going to determine if I get into goddamn PT school or not. So I got to block out everything and make sure I know question 34
Mm,
tomorrow. Like other than that, the other stuff is surface stuff. So those are my two big things for this first one. Is okay, try the tactic. Set a time limit for yourself, artificial or not. Give yourself 20 minutes, give yourself 30, whatever. But under that, like, have a real conversation with yourself. Do you want this bad enough or not? If not, fine. Do what you got to do. But if you
yeah.
need to do this, then man, I mean, make sure you do it and get into PT school.
Yo, and the other thing is also Shanahan just hit it on the money. He said high performance planner helps me a lot. Write it down.
Oh yeah.
Write down. So I'm
Hmm.
about to show y'all. So this is the high performance planner. If y'all have never seen it, I don't know if you guys can see that there. The high
Hmm.
performance planner has been how I'm living my life. Like every single morning, I'm spending about 20 minutes on this, and then every night before I go to bed, I'm reflecting on my day. If you're not intentional with your day, you're not going to use your time wisely. Intentionality
True.
has to be there. You can't just say, yo, today I got like 20 things to do today. Let me just Let me just write a list of all of them. If I just check them off, let's see what happens. Well, even if you check them off, how much more time could you have saved if you were efficient with it? So what I do is every single morning. Well, before that, I actually have a calendar where I've written down like everything that I need to do every single day of the week, and I just follow it. It's literally like somebody telling me what to do, and I don't have to think about it, right? And so for me, if you guys look at this here, and obviously you're not going to be able to read it, but I'll show you what it looks like. So every single day, like I'm writing down everything I need to do, what my goals are, what the times are going to be. Like people, like literally, it's asking me questions like what I can get excited about today, like what's like who needs me on my A game,
Mm.
situation that might stress me out or trip me up today could be blank. The way my best self will deal with that is blank. Someone I could surprise with a note or gift. One action I could take today to demonstrate excellence or real value. Like I'm planning it out. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is ever by accident. And so I'm not getting to the end of the day and saying, dang, like, was I efficient today? Did I crush it? No, like I expect it to happen. I expect it to happen because I set up for it that way. Does that make sense? Passion planner is great as well. So exactly. And so whether it's a passion planner, like whether it's the high performance planner that I just showed you, use something. Use something. If you don't, then you're just a byproduct of what happens to you during that day. Regardless, you're just a byproduct of it, and you have absolutely like
Almost done.
very limited control as to how your day is going to go and how you're going to navigate through it. And so you have to start with becoming very efficient with your time. If you're not, if you're not, then honestly, if you want to max out, if you're going into this next application cycle being like, man, I'm about to be my best self, the best version of myself, I can tell you right now, if you miss that first step, you already are not. You might be like Shaquille O'Neal, who, oh my goodness, I'm about to disrespect Shaq right now, real quick. I'm so sorry, but this is to prove a point. You could be like Shaquille O'Neal, who was one of the greatest big men of all time, but I don't believe Shaq ever maxed out on his potential. If you want to be like Shaq, where you're remembered as one of the greatest centers of all time, when you could have literally been one of the top or best players of all time, period, had you just maxed out on your potential, then what's the point? I don't care how good your GPA is. I don't really care how great your GRE score is. How are you going to be the best as a physical therapist? How are you going to be the best as a spouse, as a parent, as a human being if you're not setting yourself up for excellence? And excellence based on what's excellent for Casey, what's excellent for me, what's excellent for Shanahan is always going to be different. But what's going to be the max for you? That's honestly why I'm a big Kobe fan. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because I feel like Kobe maxed out on his freaking potential. I don't care if Michael Jordan's better. Kobe Bryant maxed out. Michael Jordan maxed out. That's why they're the GOATs. And so we got to go to the next one, man, before I start getting myself in trouble. If he could hit a free throw, he would be one of the most complete players of all time. Yeah. He would just spend time on it. My goodness. But Shaq was a great player. Don't get me wrong. But Shaq did not max out on his potential. He did not. Go back to the details. You're right, Shanahan. Go back to the details and be efficient with your time. Number two, create better habits. Mm. Yeah, I told the crew last night, I was like, shoot, my habits have been pretty doggone consistent. I've been eating the same thing every single doggone day for the last 2 years. If y'all want to know what I eat for breakfast, shoot, I eat two slices of toast, peanut butter, both sides, chia seed, flax seed, put it together, eat it, have a banana, and maybe like some water or something like literally it's perfect for me to feel like I'm locked in for my day. I have just enough energy to crush it in the clinic, but at the same time I'm not sleepy at all. I'm wide awake. Y'all know I function off of energy, so I need to be awake. I need to be ready to go. And so I do those things. But that's just one of them. I got this thing back here for a reason. I showed it to the crew last night. I literally write everything that I have to do ahead of time. So right now, I already have like, well, this is the stuff for today, and then I'm gonna erase the whole board, and I'm gonna have all my things for tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening that I have to get done right here. That's one of my habits. So my habits. Your habits are what you resort to when all hell breaks loose, right? So what that means is your habits are not what you do when you're at your best. Your habits are what you resort to when you're at your worst. So how are they defining you? How are they defining you? What have you set up to be like? Man, let's use athletes as an example. Like tennis players, basketball players, football players. You realize that the best ones have the best habits. They're eating the same thing every single time. They're showing up several hours before the game. They're always the first ones, like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. We can talk about all the greats. They're always showing up first in the gym. What are their habits? What are your habits? What are your habits academically? What are your habits when it comes to PT school? Are you waiting for things to just happen to you? If you're waiting for PT cast to just open up and like, oh my goodness, let me try to figure this whole application process out, you don't have good habits. If you're just waiting for someone to call you, letters of recommendation or what, let's see what happens. Well, you don't have good habits. If you're waking up and you're just getting out of your door, barely eating something on the way out, feeling like you're exhausted through the first 2 hours of your day when you should be absolutely locked in, you don't have good habits. What are your habits? Your habits will define you. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm not telling you this to just be like annoying. I'm not telling you this to just be mean. I'm saying this because you have untapped potential. And the only one that can tap into it is you. The only one that can tap into it is you. And if you're not going to allow yourself to even have the opportunity to do it, then, well, how are you ever going to max out? Casey, what are your thoughts on better habits, man?
Yeah, I think we get overwhelmed with, I have to make 500 new habits by tomorrow, and nothing ever happens, and we resort back to whatever we've been doing because it's safe and it feels comfortable. And I think
Mm,
if you start at the smallest thing you can even imagine, that's setting you up for success for an avalanche of good habits to come down the line. Because it's like, all right, well, I gotta make Joseph just went off about habits. Oh crap, let me get my shit together.
he
But
just yelled.
it's just like start with something like you can't even think of how small it is. Like wake up 2 seconds earlier or 60 seconds earlier. Like I'm talking about that. Take a shower, 5 minutes earlier. Watch one less video of YouTube and do that like consistently for a week and
Yup.
celebrate it and
Yeah.
celebrate it. Then next week maybe try two. If you suck with two, go back to one and try something different and add a new habit. I
Hmm.
don't get overwhelmed with it, then resort back to what you were doing and end up making no change a year from now. Don't be like, well, I got to be like Kobe Bryant now because I just heard Pre-PT Grind's pod. No, just chill out. This is great. We lit a fire under you, but at the same time, start small because that's what's the change is really going to happen at. Pick the smallest thing that you have trouble with or something easy, some low hanging fruit, and just make that
Yep.
change like tonight, like five after we hit stop, like do that like now, then celebrate it
Look at
for
look
like
at
a
one
week.
less meme.
Andrew,
Look at one less
I
meme. Yeah,
mean,
Andrew Chan. Andrew Chan's the reason why y'all
do
can't
what you got to
focus. My
do.
goodness.
Pretty
My
much. So
goodness.
I'm guilty. I just be scrolling on Instagram, but hey, like I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one. But like start with the smallest thing you can imagine and build from that because I think it's gonna make all the difference for you once PT Cast comes in your essays because it's gonna get crazy in a couple months, and by that time you can't be like, well, now I gotta make new habits. Like no, just start today. Start tonight.
I'll add to this. You all have habits. Honestly, I some even believe that all we are as humans is just a culmination of our habits. That's all we really are. Live streams. This is a habit.
True. True.
Serving pre-PTs. It's a habit. This stuff right here. It's a habit. So whatever you do is still a habit. And just like someone just says, I think it was Connor, habits are created and ingrained with perseverance over time. Yeah, they take time to develop. So the habits that you currently
Easier said
have
than done.
have taken time to develop, whether they're good or bad. Some of y'all's might be good. A lot of y'all's must be bad. I still have some bad habits that I'm still working on. But when you acknowledge them and you're aware of the fact that you have them, then honestly, from there, it's when you can actually take strides and make changes and do things that will actually give you the opportunity to rewrite those, and those take time. It takes consistency. Honestly, it might take you having some level of accountability. It might require you having someone that you can say, yo, this is the habit I'm trying to develop. Honestly, for me to even get this into my whole thing, I had to wake up 20 minutes earlier, and that was hard. That was hard. I had to like set up like three alarms. Well, so I can sleep through alarms if I really want to, and I have friends that will just like get upset by it. But I had to set up like multiple alarms 20 minutes in advance of what I would have normally done. And so I would wake up and I would say, yo, can I get this done? And I'd wake up. I set myself up for success because I know that I'll give myself excuses sometimes. Now it's a habit. So for now, I literally can't like not do it. But when I was first starting, the first several weeks, the first few months, literally like I had to leave this thing wide open. It's like a blank page. The pen is right smack in the middle. So all I gotta do is show up to the same spot and I just start writing. I just start writing because it becomes a habit. You have to do it over and over and over until you unwrite the negative habits that you had before. Does that make sense? The last few weeks, I started waking up between 5:30 and 6:30 to study for the GRE. Every time I want to hit snooze, I remember why I am. You got it. Why I am doing this. Get into Baylor Army Navy. Yo, shoot, and I immediately get out of bed. You got it. You have a why. Say we have. I do that Shanahan. Tell yourself the night before I'm waking up at whatever time you set, and your body will adjust. Yo,
That does
listen,
work.
your body should just respond to what you demand of it. Set your alarm 5 minutes before you originally started and now wake up at 5:30. Exactly. So every little thing. If honestly, start with just 5 minutes. Don't even start with this tomorrow. Don't freak out and be like, oh my goodness, I have to wake up 20 minutes earlier. Honestly, prove to yourself that you can actually wake up 5 minutes earlier. Just do it. Just do it. Tomorrow morning, set your alarm 5 minutes earlier. And when you hear the alarm, don't snooze. Do not snooze. Give yourself the little 5 second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the time you hit zero, you should be sitting up on the side of your bed. Just do it. Show yourself that you can do it. Just practicing that habit alone. Even if for the next week, all you're doing is just getting up 5 minutes earlier, getting up 5 minutes earlier. Just train yourself to doing that and then say, okay, what can I do in that 5 minutes that will set me up for my day? Is it a devotional that I'm going to do in that 5 minutes? Is it something I can read in that 5 minutes? Is it something I can write? Can I write down, all the things that I need to do for that day? Whatever it is, prove to yourself that you can actually develop the good habits. And then honestly, let the results do the talking. Do you know why I still do this? Because I realize that I'm really efficient with my day now. I realize that at the end of the day, I actually feel much more accomplished when I could just mark down that I did that, I did that, I did that. When I can look at it and be like, yo, I crushed it today. I'm exhausted, but I crushed it today. It gives me this extra boost of energy. So that when I'm doing a live stream at 10, 11 p.m. Eastern time, like right now, I'm still wide awake. Now, I took a little power nap. I was telling Shanahan about it. But honestly, yeah, like I'm still good. Like I'm good and ready to go. Like I'm wide, like I'm good. I'm locked in right here. Right here. Whereas most people would have a very hard time doing a live stream this late. I don't know how Casey does it. Casey doesn't sleep though. But
I'm an hour
that's one
behind.
thing. Create better habits. All right. And then the last thing, the third part, if you guys want to max out, if you want to maximize yourself as a pre-PT, write this down, become a finisher. Become a finisher. Here's the thing. This is a human problem, or it's a human situation where we're not very good at finishing most things, especially when they don't go the way we would have wanted them to the first time. It's the exact reason why when you get rejected the first time, most people around you, the ones really close to you might say, okay, go at it again, they'll motivate you. But most other people will say, well, have you considered other options? Maybe you're not a match for physical therapy. Your GPA is a little low. Maybe you're not going to meet the GPAs and PT score like 4.0s. Don't say ridiculous stuff like that. Like there's no way in heck you'll even get in. Try being something else. Try being a trainer. Try being a PTA. Try doing something that's similar but not. When it comes to starting a semester, are you waiting to see what the first two exams look like before you say, you know what, this teacher's a little too hard, let me pull the plug on it? On this journey, have you actually set yourself up to fail? Because you're saying, well, like I really want to be a PT, but just in case, let me have a few things on the side, just so if I need to pull the plug, I have two or three other good options. You're not planning on finishing. If you were planning on finishing, like planning on finishing, it means that you're about to see this whole thing through. So become a finisher with anything. Honestly, if you have a hard time staying consistent with something, one of the best things that you can do to start proving to yourself that you can do it is just start a workout plan and just stay consistent with it. Finish it. Just finish it. It's one of the first things I ever did to just try. Because for me, I used to just kind of go. where I felt the momentum was going. If I felt like this wasn't going to set me up for success, I felt like it wasn't really going the way I had planned, I'd be like, you know what? Just to be safe, let me just do something a little different. But when I got through my first workout plan and I was like, okay, I got to be a finisher because I can tell you every successful individual is a doggone finisher. I told our students last night in the accepted system, I was like, listen, y'all just finishing this program is about to, obviously, they're learning a whole lot of ish in there and they're setting themselves up for acceptance during their next cycle. But the honest truth is, just them finishing it sets them up for success. Because a lot of the things that we freak out about, the anxieties that we freak out about, are based on things we haven't even accomplished before. A clinical, well, like an internship or a rotation where you're doing observation hours, or maybe somewhere where you're working as a tech and you're not able to put great job, perfect. And so even as a tech, say, yo, this is a little too hard. I don't know if I want to do this. Push through it. Teach yourself that in whatever you put yourself to, you have to accomplish it. You have to push through it, and at that point, your ability to then hone in on everything you have to do to absolutely succeed will come from within, because you'll know, yo, I have no second chances. I can't really play this to lose. I can't play this as if something's gonna go wrong. If I have a friend that's working a certain place as a clinician and things are not going the way they had planned, but if they just wait long enough, if they just saw it through, they would see the other side. I've had my own struggles, even as a physical therapist. Moments where even right out of PT school, I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to handle some of these finances? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to handle that? Honestly, in moments where I almost pulled the plug and left Florida and went back to Michigan, I said, I'm going to strap down and push through. Push through. And I can tell you that every amazing thing about my career has happened just because I stuck things out. Just because I stuck the crappy situations out. And most of us, just as human beings, it's not even a pre-PT situation, just as human beings, are not finishers. We're not. So in everything you do, you have to become an absolute finisher. If you want to max out as a pre-PT, finish everything. If you're in a semester right now where this class is rocking you, lock in. Don't spend so much time focusing on how hard the teacher is, and focus on how you're going to find solutions for that class. Finish it. When I had, like, chemistry and physics were the two hardest classes I had. I told somebody today, I was like, yo, check it out. Chemistry and physics are the two listen, when my child, or my children, when I have future, I don't got children yet, don't freak out. Like, but when I have children and they're bringing home physics and they're like, hey dad, check it out. We got physics. I got some questions. I'll be like, yo, listen, I took the class. Did I do well? Yeah. Do I understand a single thing anymore? Nope. So I'm gonna get you a tutor. I'm gonna get you a tutor, and you're gonna learn from a tutor. Thing is, physics, did I know it enough? Yeah, but I worked my tail off. I had two tutors at the same time. Physics was hard for me. Chemistry was hard for me. But the honest truth is, I had to stick it through. I didn't let the fact that, now I'm about to be petty real quick. I didn't let the fact that my physics teacher literally would leave for chapters at a time and show up expecting us to have learned the material. She didn't teach us nothing. But did I let that play into how I was going on my journey to PT school? No, I was locked into getting into PT school. So I was going to do what I needed to do to finish that doggone class, despite whether she was good or bad as a teacher. Chemistry, I don't know, a bunch of bonds and I don't know, who knows what. But the honest truth is, was I going to let that confusion mess with my mind? No, I was going to push through. So I found people that could help me through it. Become a finisher. If you're looking for every easy opportunity out, if you're looking for all the easy way outs, then honestly, you're never going to really succeed at much. You might get into PT school, but so what if you become a physical therapist? You're still going to struggle. It's the same skills that you're trying to master now that will allow you to become a dominant clinician. Same skills that right now have allowed me to become a leader in my clinic, a clinic director, a business owner, multi-business. Like, all these things happen because I've said I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to take myself out of my comfort zone and absolutely freaking max out. If you want to get into PT school this year, if you want to get into PT school next year, whenever you're applying, learn how to max out. But even if you do get into PT school, if you have not learned how to max out, if you've already gotten accepted, if you have not learned how to max out yourself as a pre-PT, start tonight with these 3 steps. Casey, what are your thoughts, man? I'm just awake and hyped. Go.
Yeah, so well, two things. First, all I really hear with this is execution. That's
Mm.
all I'm really hearing. Finishers, if you're going to finish something, you have to execute it. Think about the Super Bowl that
Yep.
just happened. How they won what? He has 6 titles. They've been to 9 Super Bowls because of what? They know how to execute right. They know exactly what to do. Like they don't put their feelings at it. They don't take that into the game. They have a plan. They do it. They're quiet and they get it done. And now they got 6 rings in however many years. And that's all I'm really hearing here. Like execute or you're not going to finish. And number two is you're going to have to finish a lot of stuff in PT school. If you can't finish your little chemistry class, I don't really know what
Woo.
to tell you, bro. Like,
Woo,
I
woo,
don't really know what to
woo.
tell you. If you can't finish your GRE, I don't know what to tell you when the NPTE comes. If you can't finish 2 classes at a time in your job, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, if you can't
Mm.
finish whatever you got going on now, what do you think is going to happen when you get to PT school? Just going to drop
Have
out?
mercy. Wow.
Like a lot of people, like it happens. It happens.
Hmm.
They got in and they couldn't finish. Are you going to finish PT school or not? How are they going to know if you don't finish your little class, your little prereqs, your little
Hmm.
test that you got tomorrow? Well,
Hmm.
I don't really know what else to say. So number one with this is execution. That's what I'm hearing. That's the first thing. Execute or you're not going to finish. Number two, you got to finish a lot of stuff. This is a doctorate level program. You're becoming a doctor of physical therapy. They're not going to play around. They're going to throw a lot at you, and you're going to have to be able to finish it in a systematic order at a certain time period, or you're done and you're out. There's no sugarcoating that, and you're not going to be a DPT. And everything that you work so hard for, all the videos that you watch this for, all the podcasts are going to be for nothing because you couldn't finish it. You couldn't pass the MPTE. You couldn't do that. That's really what it is. So for this last one, you got to execute, and two, you're gonna have to finish a lot more in the future than what you're doing now. So point blank, period.
Listen, it's this simple. If you're live right now watching on replay and you're like, all right, I hear you guys. I'm ready to reach my full potential. I'm ready to start implementing these 3 things. And even if I've started 1 or 2 of them, I'm ready to do all of them. And even if I'm doing all 3, I'm ready to step it up. I want you to comment, I'm ready to max myself out. Just comment, I am ready to max myself out. This is you telling yourself. This is you also making it public to either us or the rest of the other pre-PT winners watching. I am ready to max myself out. That is you making a promise to yourself that you're not going to play the small ball. I don't care how gifted you are. I don't care how great your grades are. Right now, these are skills that you're going to need to become amazing clinicians. If you, I mean, honestly, if you want to play this whole thing average, it's fine. It's cool. I just don't think most people want to be average. I'm ready to max myself out. No, but let's freaking get it. Let's freaking get it. I'm ready to max myself out. Honestly, it's one thing that I have to remind myself every single day. I have to remind myself that I can't really be average anymore. Honestly, I put myself in a situation, Casey and I put ourselves in a situation where it's actually a disservice to the people we serve if we're average now.
Our
To be
students
honest
are
with
showing up tonight. I like
you. You get me?
this.
Oh, yo, they ready. They ready. They ready. They're not playing around. But the honest truth is, like, Casey and I put ourselves in a situation where we can't really be average anymore. We can't. If we did want to at one point, well, it sucks. I mean, look at all these winners. We can't. We can't. So if we're going to demand that of ourselves, are you ready to demand that of yourself? That you're ready to max yourself out. You're ready to say, I'm ready. I don't care. Whatever my potential is, I'm ready to figure it out. I'm ready to figure it out and not only meet it, but I'm ready to exceed it. But it's going to take these 3 things. You can't do it without those. You can't do it without those 3 things. You can't. It doesn't happen by accident. Kobe doesn't just wake up and he's like, whoa, I'm the Black Mamba. No. Michael Jordan doesn't just wake up and he's the greatest of all time. Tom Brady just doesn't get a bunch of, my goodness. Anyway, sauce. Anyway. But the bottom line is those things don't happen. Those things don't happen by accident. Your success as an applicant will not happen by accident. Your success as a clinician will not happen by accident. If you want to do this for your family, that will not happen by accident. If you want to be a business owner, it will not happen by accident. Honestly, we can tell you that from experience, especially with the business. It does not happen by accident. The fact that we had 62 students in our season
Mm.
for season 4, that's not an accident. We didn't just like all of a sudden like show up one day and said, hey guys, we like to coach pre-PTs. No, we served y'all for 2 years straight. And some of y'all were like, yo, I've been listening to y'all for 2 years and I'm ready to step it up now. So we can't expect anything to happen by accident to us. So we don't want you to expect that any of it's going to happen to you by accident. Average is easy, and success does not come without struggle. Perfect. I'm ready to max myself out. Ready to max myself out. Ready to max. Let's get it, Warren, Gail, Judy, Noble. Let's freaking go, Connor, Dustin, Clarissa. Y'all are absolutely crushing it. And if y'all are ready to join the nation and just say, yo, I'm ready to max myself out, comment that below. Let's freaking get it. Let's start this February on absolute fire. If you're watching this on podcast, who knows when it is, when this thing is being released. But right now, live, this is February. Let's kill it. This is still early on in 2019. If you guys want to have a chance at getting into PT school, max out. That's it. Max out or die. That's pretty
That's
much
it.
it, right?
That's
it, man.
it.
So y'all have a good one. Casey, anything else before we close it down?
That's it. Podcast, check it out. Podcast, anchor.fm, or just iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. It came out Wednesday. Give it a listen. Hope it brings you some value.
Y'all have a good one. Blessings.